Everybody, hello, and welcome to Gembali Media Space. Welcome to our channel, and most especially, thank you for officially tuning in to watch my first long form video for the year 2024. Of course, I've posted videos before, but those were just rare gems that I had locked away over the last year that I was just putting out. And a lot has changed for me since 2023, hence my unavailability. So it's just been a hectic start of the year. But hey, I'm back, and it's just like we never left. So I'm here so we can keep talking about new generations entrepreneurship, marketing, branding, art, lifestyle, and youth. So, as some of you who have already been watching my channel know, I am a practicing marketing communications and PR specialist for over the last 10 years now. Started in a very haphazard way, have not had a quite smooth trajectory all along, but with all the different roles that I've been able to take, I have grown in all my experiences and all of that. And when it was about time to, I think, figure out my next phases, I thought, you know what, YouTube is a nice place for me to come and share as I learn and share as I grow. So as I've been learning a lot from YouTube, maybe I could continuously learn while giving back. I was eventually bold enough to delve into this platform. And it's been an interesting journey. It's been a very interesting journey, and I'm here today to officially talk about that journey. So, as I was saying, one thing I've always found to be different for me in all the roles that I have taken has been my passion, immersing myself entirely into those roles. And I've found that has helped me to grow so much, Even it doesn't matter how small or how big the role is, I try as much as I can to immerse fully into it and to commit. So that has helped me to grow so much. But in the last 5 years, I was finally bold enough to make a step into the world of entrepreneurship. That's a whole different ball game. And while I did not fully invest in my field of practice, I was dealing in different industries which I'm not trained at, but what I've learned throughout my career path helped me to help my businesses thrive. So I was leveraging the expertise I gained as a marketing and a communication specialist to run those businesses. So all the while, my influence to hop on this YouTube platform was to share my own stories, to share my own experiences, to talk to people who were walking the same path as I have been walking or as I have previously walked, and to just keep growing while sharing my own lessons. So with this in mind, it was very important for me to present myself correctly on this platform. As a PR and communication specialist, I'm well aware that image is everything, and how you present yourself professionally in this regard, automatically translates to how people will receive you. So there was that burden on me to come correct for YouTube. Perfection is something that we all strive at, though we are not all excelling at it, but we all strive at. And so when I started coming to YouTube, I was like, I see a lot of YouTubers, they wing it, they use their personal effects, they use their small equipment, and I mean, they have a huge following on YouTube. So I was like, okay, if I can come in and I come correct with all the knowledge that I'm about to share, especially considering the fact that I was going to be touching topics such as entrepreneurship, marketing, branding, lifestyle, and just those things, I was thinking is good to come correct. So that burden, of course, was there. Luckily for me, I had a village of people to help me. I had a team that supported me, and I had people who really encouraged me. So today, for the first time, I want to share officially what my story and what my journey has been like creating a YouTube channel. what I have learned in all this time, what I may have missed in all this time, and how I do intend to improve that moving forward. Okay, so hang on with me there, guys. Let's just go slowly and surely. So I started the channel in July of 2023. However, my first shooting was not July. My first shooting was like in May of 2023. I came around to creating the channel after sharing with friends and families. I used to, to just edit a lot of videos on CapCut and just share on WhatsApp. And my friends were like, why are you putting so much interesting content on WhatsApp? Why don't go to YouTube and start making something for yourself? So I finally came around it. I mean, one of my biggest challenges has always been to get in front of the camera. Like, I work in PR and I work in communications, but I'm not very eager to be in front of the camera. I like to be behind the scenes and directing things. So when I finally came around to convincing myself that this is this is something that you could definitely do, I created the channel and I was like, okay, now I'm ready. I had a set of 2 brand new Rebel cameras. I had a tripod. I had body mics. I had those things that my husband has just gotten for me. And I was like, okay, I'm set to go. But I know, and as a PR and communications specialist who has been practicing, working a lot with media houses, working a lot with photographers and all of that, I knew the best in the business, and I knew those who were not so great. I knew people I could contact to for favors that they owed me. I knew people that I could engage with, and they would be able to probably do some exceptions for me. However, since I was camera shy and I didn't want to be embarrassing myself in front of people I work with regularly, I was like, okay, I needed somebody neutral, just to help me to get comfortable. And then I had a friend who was trying to set up a little media house as well in Cameroon, and I was consulting with him a lot. I was assisting him a lot. So he told me he had a camera guy. I was like, okay, bring him. Let's see what we can do. And I met him a couple of times. He could talk the game. So he could talk the game, guys. And I was like, okay, this guy could know what he is doing. On our first shoot, I remember I was like, YouTube, that's nothing. That's a small thing for me. I was like, okay, I'm feeling pretty confident. Until when we linked up, we did the shoot. It was a good shoot, basically. I was comfortable. I was, I took time to script my messaging. We felt good about it. My delivery was good. I think I looked good. And we took almost an entire day to shoot. Literally, guys, after the shoot, after he left, it took almost a month of excuse after excuse to get to this guy. Anger, frustration kicked in. You had to use the firm words, and oh boy, was I disappointed. So we shot, and here am I thinking I have at least a week to upload my video, and I have to chase this guy around for about an entire month to get something that I could, So I'm about to launch a channel where I hope to teach people about image and branding and creating good content and how much goes into it, the professionalism and all of that. And my first content was plain crap. When this guy brings what he had, edited to me, the lighting was horrible. The editing was very mediocre at best. At some point, the voice is like the voice did not even match the overlay, and everything was wrong. And it was so subpar material for me. And I was like, there is no way on earth I'm going to be publishing this looking like this. At some point, I had given him a couple of things to script, like he had some graphics to, pop in text and all of that. And the spellings were all off. Not by any fault of his. I mean, he's French speaking and I'm English speaking. But I was like, I even took the time to make those notes, and he didn't take the time to even look at the things that I gave him to be able to spell them correctly. I'm like, I cannot put this on YouTube. I then decided to put on my crisis control hat. I mean, if you've worked in PR and in crisis management, when you take a minute to talk about the problem and then you move on very fast to start figuring out how am I going to solve this problem. And so I took time and I reflected, and so graciously I remembered one of my camera people I used to work with on different projects, and I was like, but why not reach out to him? Initially I thought reaching out to professionals that I've worked with might be costly, and you're just starting YouTube. Basically you're just trying to share knowledge. Eventually we all hope to monetize, but then you don't have that much to begin to spend on YouTube. So But I called him, and so graciously he was like, yeah, why not? So when he came, I was hoping that he could somehow salvage this mediocre material that this guy had given me. So I wasn't thinking that anything else. I was just thinking I'm going to give him what I have, and he's probably going to look at it, see how we can fix it up a little bit, lighten it up a little bit, just try and probably re-edit with what I'd already shot. He looked at me and he said, well, I'm going to tell you what you might really not be ready to hear, but this is crap and you need to reshoot. I took a minute. I was like, wait, no way. And I started, thinking of things, and I was almost spiraling. And he was like, look at it this way. You have the resources. The location is yours. Equipments are yours. The knowledge is in you. You start yourself, everything. So what do you lose if you do it again? But you need to do it correctly. And I'm thinking about where I'm going to get another round of adrenaline to do this a second time, to sit in front of the camera and to, be vulnerable. But then I finally agreed to do the reshoot. And, when I think it was the best idea, the difference was so clear. But these are some of the things that make me up to this day know that the reshoot was the best idea. The first thing we needed to agree on was to create an ID for my channel. Like literally, I needed to create a brand for the channel. And that's, as a marketer, I already know. I know I am Karen, but then there is the Ngembali brand. I may represent the Ngembali brand, but the brand has its own unique personality, and I needed to create that. And that is going to be about the logo, about the colors, all of that. I had a logo from Ngembali because in Ngembali I've been, doing this. I've been working on this movement since 2016. I had a logo back then when I just started, but I've moved on a little bit. The vision has changed a little bit, so I needed to revise these things to align. I needed also to identify my brand colors and the messaging. Every color is supposed to reflect a particular message. In every company, be it the product or service market, your colors reflect your values and people relate to those values. So in my case, I chose purple, gray, and white. Purple historically isn't tied to royalty. If you look at the Royal House of England, their royal colors purple. So it's tied to royalty, but it's also tied to femininity. So otherwise, I'm not a pinkish kind of girl, but purple relates to the creative and to the artistic industries. So there you go. Purple was the first choice. That was the main choice. Then I think I had to go for gray as well. Gray also is associated with wisdom, as in, as you age, you start to gain gray hair. So I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of it, but I certainly do have some wisdom to share. So it's also neutral, it kind of, even when you're doing interior design, when you use gray, you kind of break the harsh colors with gray. So that was it. And white is the same thing. White is a symbol of purity. It stands for new beginning and everything. So I think all these colors represented my message correctly. So then we did the most exciting part of that project, which was choosing an opening theme. I was obsessed with watching the Red Table Talk by Jada Pinkett, and I loved the melancholic entry that they had at that time, like oh my god, my singing is horrible, I know. I loved that hook, so I was always thinking about what I wanted mine to be. And we went through a couple of themes, and then I realized, I need to sound upbeat. I need to have people to be excited when I get on my channel, like even dance a little bit. And we found the perfect entrance song and the perfect theme and template, and it's the monoshape sound which I use every time you go on the game. You're like tin 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 tin. Oh my god, I should stop doing this. Yeah, but anyway, I had that. That was the most exciting part for me. And then the next important thing was for us to set SMART goals, specific, measurable, realistic, and time-bound objectives that I had for my channel. I had for whatever shoot that we were going to do. I needed to know that I was going to have this on time, not like the first time around. The fourth thing I think as well, I also wanted to visually present the story behind the channel, connecting the visuals to every question and answer that I was, talking about, and taking my viewers on this journey so much so that they could see the background content, the behind the scenes of Ali. I wanted them to see it, to live the stories with me as I tell them. So that process left me gathering with, I had to gather some of my content from over the years, some of the pictures, images, videos, everything that could help me tell this story correctly. I needed us to use that. This process alone left me feeling so much more prouder than the first time I did the shoot, because I could tell the difference in the intentionality that was going into it. The branding, the thought process, everything was what I connected to. I was just thinking, I already master apps like maybe the CapCut and TikTok and InShot, but I just wanted a professionally done introductory video that I can go back to shooting my ordinary content myself. But I want, when I'm launching, when you listen to that video, you should be hooked. And one of the most important things aside from messaging on YouTube is presentation. So we took about a week this time to get our edits done. We took another day just to put the material together. I was fully immersed into this process. I will literally guide him and tell him, I need this image to go here, the sound, I need this sound, the fonts, etc. And this is how we made the channel. And that first week was remarkable. What made my week was when, after the video dropped, I had a call from a business partner, somebody who I don't really chit chat with, we don't talk too much, but he called me as soon as he finished watching, and he was like, Karen, I literally just spent 10 minutes watching Introduction to Gembali, and I must confess, it was a good watch. I'm like, okay. He commended the quality, the sound, the lighting, and there was this little part of it which was anecdotal, kind of. It was me talking about how my dad's passing helped me to evolve quickly than I should have, and he noticed and connected. I was able to probably explain to him I didn't want to confuse the messaging. I wanted people to be focused on that messaging at that point in time. So it was the right reaction I was hoping for, and just that one video and just that one exchange made it worth it for me. Aside from the number and from the tones of people who called me, appreciated the video, congratulated me, just that one exchange made me to understand that, even if I touch just one person, I've done the job. I started out with a list of topics that I wanted to discuss, making them connect to each other chronologically. I felt like I was trying to tell a story for small and first-time business owners. I wanted it to be a step-by-step guide for entrepreneurs like me, not above me, but people more like me that could relate to me. I was targeting the up-and-comings, not those who have become, Unfortunately, the new high was dragging me in different directions, with people complimenting the video, with people trying to understand my point and my vision. I was listening to all this great advice, and I was tweaking the vision as I listened to it, trying to make it fit for others. So now the lessons that I learned from that part is it helps to listen, but it pays to stick to your own plan. Because when you're starting a YouTube channel, you're creating a persona for your channel. You're figuring out who your messaging is for. You're imagining what you need to fit that person to grow, and you have to stick with it. I spent a lot of time preparing myself, preparing my messaging and all of that. I didn't really spend that much time studying the YouTube algorithm and figuring out how it works. I cared about monetization, but I was more about the passion. So as much as I had smart goals, I didn't stick to them. So I was too focused on doing it professionally, right? Oh my God. As a small YouTuber who has 10 full-time jobs, I'm a multitasker. I do a lot of things at the same time. It is hard to keep up. So making out time to shoot regularly, the cost of shooting professionally on the regular, all that proved to be more difficult because it wasn't originally planned that way. It was originally planned for me to keep editing with my CapCut apps like I've been doing and move on from there. But now I decided to go and do it professionally, and then I I got hooked on the taste of good quality, and I was struggling with, doing the ordinary CapCuts and all of that. I've also learned that the trend towards certain types of content is higher than other types. So educational content from average people like you and I will struggle to thrive on YouTube, as opposed to do-it-yourself content, tutorials, comedy, entertainment, cooking. Another trend that is so high on the market right now is cooking, tutorials. So it has to be a slow process, but it has to be consistent for you to find, so that you can eventually find your niche and then you can keep it. I realized actually that some of the most successful Nigerian YouTube channels, they pay zero attention to all these details that I'm singing about. So they just come naturally. They use the clickbait titles and inform methods to gain an audience. The only difference is my niche and their niche is not the same. So that experience has made it clear to me how important image and presentation are. So you can't just come on YouTube looking like everyone else, because at the end of the day, you've got to stand out for some sort of value that you give. So like I said, you need to stick to your vision, you need to study the platform, and you need to keep evolving. So that's my story, why branding yourself correctly is so important and what it took to get this channel to this point. I hope my experience helps even just one person who is contemplating YouTube or who is just starting. If you found this helpful, please share, please like, please subscribe. We are currently struggling to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's been over a year. We haven't really paid so much attention onto that, but right now I need you to help me push this channel to 1,000 subscribers, and let's start taking the baby steps towards monetization. Okay guys, let me know in the comment sections what you would love to hear me talk about next. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you missed me, I missed you more, and I'm back, and I will see you in my next video, where I will continue to share my stories, to bring you insights as I learn them, and to see how we can evolve together. Once again, this is New Generations Entrepreneurship, Marketing, Branding, Art, Lifestyle, and Youth, for short, Ngembali. Thank you. Bye guys.